their separate ways, they share the bond of having worn the crimson and gold, and are now part of a unique brotherhood forever. Our first senior has transferred to Flagler after one season at Bethune-Cookman University and stops at Pasco Hernando State College and Northwest Florida State College. He has made the transition as a pitcher at Flagler after being a position player at his previous stops. In 2 seasons, he has made 16 appearances on the Hill with 5 starts. He has a 2-3 record with 1 save and has 35 strikeouts. He has struck out a career-high 5 batters in a game twice. Ladies and gentlemen, from Jacksonville, Florida, number 34, Ryan Airy. Ryan is the son of Ray Airy and Dina Gustafson. Our next senior transferred to Flagler from the College of Central Florida. In his 2-year career, he has a .271 career batting average with 51 hits, 9 doubles, 6 home runs, and 44 runs batted in. He hit 2 home runs in a game against Florida Tech earlier this season. This year alone, he is batting .295 and holds a 17-game hitting streak, the longest stretch since Colin McMillan's 17-game streak in 2016. He was the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week on March 28th. Ladies and gentlemen, from Palm Beach, Florida, number 25, Miles Colangelo. Miles is the son of Mark and Gretchen Colangelo. This senior came to Flagler from the College of Central Florida. He has become one of the best catchers in the history of the program. He has battled an injury as well as the COVID year, but holds a .291 career batting average with 58 hits, 14 doubles, 5 home runs, and 32 runs batted in. This season, he is tied for 6th in the Peach Belt Conference in doubles with 13. He is a 2-time PBC Player of the Week in 2022. He earned PBC Presidential Honor Roll Scholar honors last season. Ladies and gentlemen, from Beverly Hills, Florida, number 7, John Fiorenza. John is the son of Matthew and Mary Ellen Fiorenza. Our final senior transferred to Flagler from Post University and Colorado Northwestern Community College. In his 2-year career with the Saints, he has played in 52 games with 49 starts. He has collected 29 hits, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, and has 22 runs batted in. Last week, against Edward Waters University, he had a career-high 3 hits and 6 total bases. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bakersfield, California, number 16, Tyler Keith. Tyler is the son of Greg and Darcy Keith.
Where's the throw?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for the Flagler College Baseball Class of 2022. Good luck to all of you in your future endeavors.
Mason Gray. Did he get hurt?
Say again?
No Mason Gray. Did he get hurt?
Gray is hurt. Is that the deal? John, Mason Gray is hurt. We don't know. Okay. Don't know.
Okay. All right.
Not in the lineup. Isn't he the freshman of the week this week, or was that last week? Okay. Flagler baseball sits in third place in the Peach Belt Conference, but they need to finish strong to secure a hosting spot in the PBC tournament. And they face the toughest team in the league, Columbus State, ranked number 6 in the nation. Saints baseball starts now. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the PBC Network. Dave Wenda, along with Jordan Fauci, and our producer, Juliana Maynard. Sports Information Director John Jordan sitting by as well. And Jordan, this is a team that can really hit 6 of the regulars hit 327 or better for the Cougars.
And not just for average, these guys can really hit the long ball. They have 5 kids with double-digit home runs on the season. It's going to be a real challenge for junior pitcher Gage Voorhees on the mound for the Saints. He's been nails so far this year. However, this is going to be his toughest test by far with this explosive lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Gage Voorhees, absolutely the ace of the staff, an ERA under 3, but when you're dealing with Columbus State, a team that hits 318 as a club, your work definitely cut out for you. To his perhaps benefit, the wind is blowing in briskly from center field at 77 degrees and sunny here in St. Augustine. Just about set to get it going, the final series of the regular season for both clubs, and then the PBC tournament quarters start on May 6th. Again, top 8 teams make the conference tournament. The Saints are in, Jordan, but they would love to host a first-round game.
But
there's kind of a log jam right there in the PBC.
You have to get 2 or 3 here. If they get 3 out of 3, that'd be perfect world, but got to at least try and get 2 out of 3 here. It's a really tough team. They'd be happy if they could get 2.
Leading off is a shortstop, Isaac Boughton. Boughton, one of those hot hitters, 328 average. He has 10 homers on the year, 37 runs batted in. And a delay right off the bat here. Our umpires are Perry Ramacone behind the plate at first, William Benson, and the third base umpire is John Puma. Senior night here at Drysdale Field. 4 seniors honored before the game in this, their final home regular season series. And we'll talk about them as the night wears on. First pitch strike from Voorhees, good start.
Already see, look at the second baseman for the Saints, Zach Thomas, the freshman, playing pretty much behind the bag, if not shaded to the shortstop side.
Yeah, the shift becoming so common, not only in Major League Baseball, but we're seeing it a lot here in college ball as well. Here's the 1-1. And it's fouled off. Now, Jordan, for those of you, those watching at home who may not know a lot about Gage Voorhees, tell us a little bit. Give them the scouting report as a pitcher.
Scouting report on Gage Voorhees, fantastic breaking stuff, can locate all of his pitches, and if he can get ahead in counts and really just work with those breaking pitches, he is one of the best pitchers in the Peach Belt Conference, let alone Division II.
Voorhees 6-1 on the season, a 2.94 ERA. The 2-2 is grounded foul. This is his 13th start of the season. Has thrown 2 complete games. So the Saints hoping he can give them a good start to this series, as Jordan mentioned. Probably need to take 2 of 3 to hold off Georgia College, Georgia Southwestern for one of those top 4 spots, as the Saints do not have the tiebreaker with those 2 clubs. They were swept by Georgia College and lost 2 of 3 here to Georgia Southwestern. Another 2-2 pitch, another one spoiled by Boughton.
Boughton doing a great job, exactly what you want to see from your leadoff guy, seeing a lot of pitches and making it real tough for Voorhees to get his first out.
The 2-2, and again fouled out of play. Great at bat to lead off the game by Boughton. Columbus State, by the way, swept in their last Peach Belt Conference series by Georgia College. And now the count runs full. They did bounce back to beat Albany State on Wednesday. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Voorhees wins that battle as Boughton is down on strikes.
That's what you want to see from Voorhees. Saints and pitching coach Jeff Pelkey definitely happy with that result there. Love to start out with a strikeout. Hopefully we can keep this going. As look at now, we got the shift completely shifting to the other side. They're playing everyone to a dead pull.
Colby Brabston is the batter. He's the left fielder today. So 3 Saints on the right side of the infield. And this one's fouled off.
Have we done defense yet? Did we do defense now? You did it?
Yeah, I did
did?
defense.
Great.
Brabston behind 0-2. And another strikeout. Beautiful pitch by Voorhees to freeze Brabston and get his second strikeout of the inning.
If he has that backdoor slider going to lefties, it's going to be a real long night.
Well, that brings up the catcher, Robert Brooks. And again, the shift goes back to the left side of the infield.
This is by far the most we've seen them shift all year.
Fouled out of play. Brooks leading the team among the regulars, at least, with a .393 average. 88 home runs, John Jordan just pointed out, as Brooks is hit by the pitch, so the Cougars have their first runner of the game. But 88 home runs. Wow.
That is a lot of long balls.
Compare that to 18 for the Saints. The Saints aren't known as necessarily a power team.
The wind's blowing in.
Steven Minter is the batter. He's the designated hitter. And there's a strike from Voorhees. Bit of a delay on the call from Perry Ramacone behind the plate. Ground ball to Jaden Ward at third. Goes the short way, and the inning is over. No score as we head to the bottom of the first. That's crazy. Sorry. Oh, you are right now? Okay, that's fine. And then you can pull that off and do the batting order. Great.
Yep.
And welcome back. Ready for the bottom of the first inning. Your look at the defense for the Cougars. And now we'll transition over to the batting order for the Saints. And it's a little bit of a different look. No Mason Gray at shortstop.
They've moved Matthew Burke up. Burke can easily fill that 2 spot for the Saints. Not going to have as much speed on the base paths, but Zach Thomas gets the nod today all the way down the 7 hole at second. He only has 6 at-bats on the year. Bit of a young blood, the freshman, but see what he can do. Big spot, maybe he breaks through.
3 for 6 on the season in limited action for tonight's second baseman. Leading off is Trey Newland, the center fielder. Talk about speed at the top of the order. The Saints will deal with starter Devin Dudal. Dudal 8-3 on the year, a 4.18 ERA. A little bit surprising for a Friday night starter to have an ERA that high, especially on a team this good.
When you hit the ball the way that they do, the pitchers have a lot of leniency.
Grounded right back to Dudal, who will throw underhand to first for the first out. That brings up Matthew Burke playing shortstop today. And it'd be interesting to look back. I don't ever remember Matthew Burke playing any position but second. I think every game he played a year ago, he was at second base. And I haven't seen every of the Saints games, obviously, this year. But I think he's primarily been a second baseman this season.
Yeah, it's weird to see him get shifted over. He can easily do it. He has a great glove and a solid arm to boot. But no Mason Gray today. A bit surprising for the Saints.
Here's the 0-1. Grounded foul. Burke has really picked it up of late, hitting .304 now on the season. He's driven in 19. Still looking for his first long ball. Go 2 pitches high. Cougars are guided by head coach Greg Appleton in his 25th season. And what a resume. He's led the Cougars to the 2002 National Championship. He's been a 2-time national runner-up in 2007 and 2018. There's a ground ball to second. 12 NCAA postseason appearances. 4 D2 College World Series appearances. Just 2 Peach Belt Conference regular season championships, but that'll change, or likely change, depending on the results. I guess Young Harris still within striking distance at 16-8 in the conference. Columbus State comes in 18-5. This is John Fiorenza. Swings at the first pitch, little chopper to third. Tough play for Meadows, but he makes it, and the Saints are gone in order in the first. We head to the top of the second, still scoreless. You're what? Uh-oh. And welcome back. Top of the second inning. It'll be David Meadows, Derek Wiley, and Trace Twardowski. 5, 6, and 7 due up to face Voorhees. And the first pitch is in there for a strike.
No real breaks in this top 6 for Voorhees tonight.
Ground ball to Burke. 1 out. Yeah, it's a murderer's row type lineup. Watch them take batting practice, and the thump of the blast of the baseball coming off the bats was noticeable. I mean, they're powerful, big, powerful, athletic guys. This is Derek Wiley, the right fielder.
Wiley is coming off a fantastic game on the 27th. He had 3 hits, 2 of those were home runs. Definitely someone who's seeing the ball very well right now.
Now, I mentioned that the Cougars are coming off a sweep of Georgia College. I was looking at the 2021 season. They lost 2 of 3 this year to Georgia College in their last Peach Belt Conference Series. Bounced back and beat Auburn and University Montgomery this Wednesday.
At Burger King Stadium.
Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, yeah. I think Jordan's hungry.
It's one of the great things about the Saints Athletic Complex. We have a Burger King just down the street, and you can always smell, if there's a breeze coming in, you can always smell the fantastic Whopper.
As the 1-2 pitch stays outside to Wiley. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the final series for these two. They'll play game 2 tomorrow at 2 o'clock and then wrap things up Sunday at 1. And the inside breaking pitch.
That
was just Wiley. Just watch it.
Absolute beauty. It was a frisbee off of his hand. That slider just coming in, looking like it's going to go behind Wiley in that right-handed batter's box, and then just darting back into the plate.
This is Trace Twardowski, first baseman. And he takes the first pitch strike. Twardowski, one of the guys who isn't hitting at a great clip, just 242 on the season. Does have a home run, 5 runs batted in. Only 33 at-bats coming in. A very limited sample size as he looks at the 1-1 pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Your thoughts early on Voorhees? How does he look?
He looks fantastic. He's dropping in breaking balls just like he needs to. He's keeping them low in the zone, and he's keeping them on the edge. Really, with a team like this, you can't leave those over the middle of the plate.
Chopper, tough play for Jaden Ward, and it'll go as a hit for Twardowski, who's aboard with 2 outs. That brings up Matthew McDade, the second baseman.
Now batting the second baseman, number 4, Matthew McDade.
McDade batting .236. He has 11 home runs, 32 runs batted in. And the first pitch is a ball. Twardowski has stolen 1 base this season. Luke Wellborn holding him on at first, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Now 3-0 as that one misses outside. Connor Curley, the center fielder, is on deck, the number 9 hitter. I'll check on Twardowski. there's a strike. McDade had tossed the bat down and was taking off the shin protector.
Yeah, if it's anywhere close, I imagine it's going to get up.
There's a ground ball to the second baseman. And making the play is Zach Thomas. So a hit, but no runs for Columbus State. We head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Okay.
But maybe there's still a possibility. Young Harris sweeps and Columbus loses all three, that they finish behind. Because they're playing one less game than
Oh, they are?
Harris.
Okay.
And a game with Lander washed out.
Okay. So if they lost all three, they'd be 18 and 8. And if Young Harris won all three, they'd be 19 and 8. So they could buy a half game.
They've got Southwestern on the road this weekend.
Okay. Well, that's not easy. That's good. If Young Harris can take care of Georgia Southwestern, that would help Flagler a lot.
Number 11, Jaden Ward.
And welcome back. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Saints. Jaden Ward, Ashton Thomas, and Luke Wellborn to face Devin Dudal.
Dudal was super efficient in that first inning of work. Only 7 pitches thrown. He got through 3 batters.
All ground outs for the Saints. First pitch is inside to Ward. Ward second on the club in batting average, .340. He has 3 homers, 28 runs batted in. Ground ball to second for McDade. Easy play, 1 out. We're just talking about the possibilities of how things will shake out in the Peach Belt standings. Columbus State's going to play 1 less game than Young Harris because of a cancellation, a rainout. This is Ashton Thomas batting for the Saints. So Young Harris still within striking distance. They'll need to win all 3 against Georgia Southwestern and have Columbus State lose all 3 to claim the title outright by a half game. Young Harris could help Flagler out by knocking Georgia Southwestern out of the battle for 4th. Here's a ground ball. Cut off by the third baseman, Meadows. Nice play by David Meadows, and there are 2 quickly gone here in the Flagler second.
It's been a really sharp changeup for Dudal that's been really keeping these Flagler hitters off balance. Plus his delivery over the top compared to what we've seen a lot in the PBC. Most of the guys coming 3/4 or below. Him coming super over the top is just forcing ground balls. Everything's been soft contact.
This is Luke Wellborn. He takes the first pitch strike. Wellborn hitting .261. 3 dingers, 32 runs driven in. 1-1 the count. Wellborn looks like he's done some serious home repairs on his helmet. There's tape all over it. This is a tough one, looping down the left field line, and it gets out of play, foul.
Yeah, he does have quite a bit of tape on his helmet.
It just looks like masking tape
Yeah.
or something that it's holding it together.
You know what it is? It's that it's the padding on that left side ear that must have come off. But some guys just don't like to change their helmet mid-season. He might have just a big head as well, and then only have a few helmets. I'll have to ask him about that after the game.
The 1-2 pitch stays off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and the Saints are gone in order again here in the second. We head to the top of the third, no score.
Dave had, man? 1002, 1001? Do you know? And it was, so it's 2005, I think. I think it was 982 coming in. Okay, so one. Yeah. Yeah.
And welcome back. Top of the third inning. Just one hit between the two teams so far. That'd be Connor Curley, Isaac Boughton, and Colby Brabston for the Cougars.
Center fielder number 13, Connor Curley.
First up is Curley. Curley hitting .299. Center fielder for the Cougars.
One of the lone guys in their lineup to have no home runs on the year.
Jaden Ward playing way in at third base, perhaps anticipating a bunt here from Curley.
I wish I didn't have
to. Curley with 8 bunts on the year, I'm told. Here's a line drive, just foul. Got a pitch he liked, just a little out in front of it.
Yanked that one. That's good for the Saints, and honestly, as a pitcher, seeing that, even if a guy really squares up a pitch and it goes foul, you're fine with that. It's just a long strike at the end of the day. You just have to think of it like that and not really let it affect your confidence.
Shows bunt and offers at it. Strike 3 called. Curley is down. 1 out as we head back to the top of the order.
Tried to sneak that bunt attempt in with 2 strikes. Rarely see guys do that. It didn't pay off for him at all.
So back to Isaac Boughton. Struck out, leading off the game. Talked about Coach Appleton at Columbus State. 852 and 449 coming into the season. Our own Coach Barnett at 1,005 wins in his 35th season, all here at Flagler. I asked him the reason for his longevity. Why not move to a D1 program or some other type of coaching opportunity? He said he just really loves it here. The college and the town of St. Augustine have been a great home for he and his family. Here's the 1-2. He said if he had to do it again as a young coach, with the way salaries are exploding in Division I, in particular college baseball, he might look to move up the ladder. Long run for Donovan Garcia, and this one gets out of play. Counts 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Boughton splits on the year, batting .419 against left-handed pitching, but only .296. Only .296. I'm saying that like he's some slouch or something, but drastic split for him.
Here's the 2-2. This one hammered foul the other way.
He's seeing a lot of pitches from Voorhees. This is his second extremely long at bat, really just putting up a fight. You hate to pitch against these kind of guys.
And there is strike 3 called. So Voorhees is painting the corners. He's frozen a number of Cougars for called strike 3s.
Got quite a few pair of shoes. That's what we like to call him. When you freeze a guy, it's almost like he leaves his shoes in the box. And Voorhees has done that beautifully thus far, just dropping and breaking balls left and right.
4 of the 5 strikeouts have been looking. This is Brabston, who struck out looking his first time. 1-0. Fouled back. Again, the shift defensively for the Saints. Jaden Ward, the only Saint on the left side of the infield.
You have Matthew Burke playing more of his traditional second base, even though he's levied in as a shortstop today.
No Mason Gray today, and we're not sure why. Gray, the outstanding freshman, and there's another strikeout, and it ends the inning. Gage Voorhees strikes out the side. We head to the bottom of the third.
He said what? Oh, really? Really? Was that Valdosta State?
And welcome back. Bottom of the third. No score. The batter is Zach Thomas, the second baseman. It's the 7th at bat of the season for Thomas. Getting the start today. And he swings through one. Thomas is batting .500, 3 for 6. Scored a couple of runs. Plays off that one. Ball 1.
He's one of 32 student athletes at Flagler who earned Gold Scholar honors. He hits the books just as hard as he hits the baseball.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. And he's down on strikes. They'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout. 1 out here for the Saints in the third. Brings up Tyler Keith, one of the seniors honored before the game.
Number 16, Tyler Keith.
Think about catching next year with Fiorenza and Keith both gone. Be one of the challenges for Coach Barnett. Jeff Pelkey, the recruiting coordinator and pitching coach. Keith lays off, ball 1. Now 2-0. Keith is good at getting on base. He doesn't hit for a high average. .235 this season. But his on base is much better.
He's drawn 14 walks. Been hit by a couple pitches as well.
347 on base. Took me a while to find it. Keith, a transfer from Post University, also played at Colorado Northwestern Community College. He's been here 2 seasons. Made 49 starts and 52 games played. 29 hits, 4 doubles, 4 homers, 22 runs batted in. And he works the walk, so there's the on-base ability of Tyler Keith.
15 walks on the year. Love to see that.
That brings up Donovan Garcia, the right fielder.
He's turned it on as of late. Batting only batting .216 on the year. I was looking at his slugging percentage. My mistake, guys.
After that outstanding freshman campaign when he was first-team All-PBC. And a bit of a sophomore slump here. Fly ball into right. Easy play for Wiley. And there are 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, and Trey Newland. Bounce back to the pitcher for his first time up.
22, Trey Newland.
Well, so far, Dudal has been very efficient. Just 26 pitches through 2 2/3. He's not allowed a hit, just the 1 walk. Two and 0 to Newland.
This is a very animated Flagler bench. This something we haven't really seen. The senior day must have gotten to the boys because they're making a lot of noise there and forced the step off there from.
This one pop foul out of play. Yeah, you don't necessarily hear or see a lot of that type of demonstrative behavior from the Saints. Usually pretty low key down there.
It's good to see. It's baseball. You got to have fun. And looks like they're having quite a bit, even though haven't yet recorded a hit, but that can change. Keith 0 for 1 on the year in stolen base attempts.
Yeah, Newland and Gray are the guys you got to worry about. They're 1-2 in the conference in stolen bases. This one slices foul. Mason Gray with 25 stolen bags to lead the PBC. Newland at 21, good for second place. And Meadows for Columbus State is at 18 and a tie for third. Connor Curley also can steal bases. 16 for the Cougars. 2-2 is in there for strike 3. And the Saints are gone in the third. A pitcher's duel here at Drysdale Field. Switch.
I don't even need this right now. Yeah, I'll throw that down there. And then let you come through here.
Back and toss it to you.
All right, perfect. Where we at?
Just let me know when you want to start.
All right. Brooks, Minter, and Meadows due to bat. Okay. Yeah, we can bring it back.
Ready?
Yep.
No scores. We head to the top of the fourth inning here with the play-by-play is Jordan Fauci.
It'll be Robert Brooks, Steven Minter, and David Meadows due to bat here in the top of the fourth inning. Gage Voorhees has been very good thus far, only allowing one hit.
Yeah, the Dudall has been equally as good. So far, no hitting the Saints through 3 innings. Nice to see a pitcher's duel on Friday night in college baseball.
As we see again, Saints shifted extremely, or all on the right or left side of the infield, my mistake. Brooks, the catcher leading the team in home runs thus far, was hit by a pitch all the way back in the first inning. He grounds that one over to Ward at third. Throw on to first will be in time for the first out of the inning. Shift pays off there for the Saints.
It's interesting. If these teams seem to have each other scouted pretty well. I mean, we saw Jaden Ward come in with the guy who was 8 bunts earlier. He knew that to expect a bunt, and then we got the bunt attempt on the strikeout.
This will be Steven Minter, the junior, batting .379 on the year as he puts one into left field. Thomas underneath makes the catch for the second out.
Game, and I probably jinxed it, but the game really seems to be clipping right along.
Yeah, it's been extremely fast thus far. We've gotten a pitcher's duel, and that's really what you can expect. You have 2 aces on the mound for either team, and even though both teams can hit the ball very well at times, you have great guys on the mound. That was Meadows in the box now. Showed bunt, but pulled it back for ball 1. Back to the, well, shifting the scouting. Jeff Pelkey, the pitching coach for the Saints, has been fantastic at scouting. He meets with both John Fiorenza and Tyler Keith before each game to go over just the philosophy on what they're going to throw to guys. As that pitch is popped into center field, Newland underneath makes the catch, and that will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Cougars. It's baseball at Drysdale Field. And we are back now for the bottom of the fourth inning. It will be Burke, Fiorenza, and Ward due up for the Saints. Saints still get a no-hit thus far, Dave. What have you seen from starting pitcher Devin Dudall?
Yeah, I mean, Dudall doesn't have the greatest ERA. We talked about that coming in, 4.18, but he's kept the Saints off balance. He's gotten a lot of ground balls, and he's gotten the Saints to, there's a hit by pitch. That's one way to get on. But it seems like he's getting the Saints to chase early in the count. The Saints haven't gone deep into at-bats very often against Dudall. He's throwing stuff that looks enticing, apparently, and the Saints are swinging and generally grounding out.
This will bring up John Fiorenza with the runner on for the Saints. One of the guys who can swipe a bag if you need him, Matthew Burke, 2 for 2 on the year, a smart base runner. And you have arguably the best hitter on the team for the Saints in John Fiorenza. There'll be a breaking ball that misses just high for ball 1.
Yeah, it's great to see John healthy all season after the 2021 season when he dealt with that thumb injury. And you see what he can do now offensively to go with that great defensive game he has behind the plate.
Breaking ball in for a strike. Fiorenza actually injured his thumb originally in the COVID-shortened year and then re-aggravated that injury the following year. It just kind of nagged him. It's good to see him finally getting over that injury bug for that thumb. So that pitch is fouled hard down the line and out of play. Count will be 1-2 to the Saints catcher.
I'm going to see right here in the kind of the heart of the order if Fiorenza or Ward or Ashton Thomas can get something going now with Matthew Burke on base with nobody out.
Pickoff attempt in vain as Burke scurries back to the bag. We haven't seen it quite a lot from Burke, but I remember in prior years he has been able to swipe a bag when needed. He's not the fastest guy in the Saints lineup, but he is a smart base runner. There's another throw over. Checking on Burke at first.
The Cougars seem concerned with him.
Been quite a few throwovers from Dudal, even to guys who generally aren't the fastest or fleetest of foot. Remember, there was a couple pickoff attempts at Tyler Keith, the catcher, or the designated hitter today for the Saints. So that pitch is fouled out of play. Count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes.
Nice to see if Fiorenza here can go deep into this at bat, see a lot of pitches, put some wear on the arm of Dudal.
Just throw him off his rhythm in general. That's something that can happen from time to time. As that one is fouled down the right field line and out of play.
Wind still blowing in from center field.
Another throw over to check on Burke.
They were very concerned with Matthew Burke. It's interesting. Just 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts.
Maybe they have him confused with Mason Gray.
Could be. He's playing shortstop today.
As that ball is grounded through the hole for a single. Runners go station to station now. We got Burke at second and Fiorenza at first. First hit of the ball game for the Saints, and that brings up Jaden Ward.
Nice to break through. Great at bat by Fiorenza. He fouled off several pitches. Finally got one he could handle. Grounds it through the hole on the left side, and now there are 2 on with nobody out. Ward, a .340 hitter.
Also a power threat, 3 home runs on the year, 28 runs batted in, and a slugging percentage north of .450. Has a runner in scoring position at second in Matthew Burke. First pitch fouled down the right field line and out of play.
You almost think that with the wind blowing in, that would favor the Saints, not the power hitting team that the Cougars are. I don't think the Saints have a single player with double-digit home runs, and in the lineup today there are 5 for the Cougars who have at least 10 homers.
That ball is grounded. It's going to go 5-4. Throw on to first will not be in time. We going down in the books as a fielder's choice as now Burke moves up to third, and Jaden Ward will now be at first. 1 down for the left fielder, Ashton Thomas. Thomas on the year, Dave, free swinging, but hits the ball hard.
Hits the ball hard, and if I'm not mistaken, still looking for his first home run, which is just unbelievable to me. He's got the big, strong frame. He puts the bat on the ball, and a lot more line drive hitter, I guess, than a fly ball hitter. And there you see, swings at the first pitch. He's never met a pitch he really doesn't want to swing at, and sometimes will swing at pitches out of the strike zone.
He just loves to hit the ball. It just, some guys' swings don't really line up with the long ball, and it'd be a great time for him to get his first one of the year with 2 runners on.
I'm sure Flagler would be happy with just a base hit here.
Break this tie as that pitch misses outside. Count will now be even at a ball and a strike.
Now it looks like the Cougars are more at double play depth, so perhaps even a ground ball here could score a run.
Pitch to Dudal. It's going to go 6-4-3. Inning-ending double play. Saints strand a runner at third. And that will do it for the 4th inning. Game remains tied 0-0.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Southwestern's up 3-1, bottom of 3.
Who?
Southwestern.
No. And they're playing Young Harris?
And we are back now for the top of the 5th inning. It will be Wiley, Twardowski, and McDade due to bat for the Cougars. Cougars only with 1 hit. Gage Voorhees has been very good thus far as he dropped that breaking ball, just misses off the inside corner.
Just 58 pitches so far for Voorhees, and you think the Saints would ride him as long as he feels comfortable out there.
Beautiful off-speed pitch there from Voorhees has Wiley way out ahead, even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. That ball is lined, going to get down for a single. Leadoff single for Wiley, the right fielder for the Cougars. That will now bring up the first baseman, Trace Twardowski.
First baseman number 17, Trace Twardowski.
The Cougars' first baseman been .242 on the year. He singled back in the 2nd inning for the Cougars. He has a runner on first. Shows bunt but pulls back as that pitch misses outside.
You wouldn't think I guess small ball here. You don't think of Columbus State as a small ball type of club, but runs might be at a premium this evening.
He lays down the bunt. Wellborn throws over to Thomas covering the bag for the first out. Sacrifice works to perfection for the Cougars as now Wiley moves up to second base.
Second baseman number 4, Matthew McDade.
That will bring up Matthew McDade, the junior, batting .236 on the year. 32 RBIs, 11 home runs. Saints move into that shift onto the left side of the infield. Wellborn will be the lone fielder for the Saints on the right side.
Yeah, it's smart baseball by Greg Appleton. You're not always going to outslug
that
people.
Ball is hammered, but that could be just a bit too high as Thomas is now underneath it, makes the catch just shy of the warning track. That one was hit a country mile up into the sky here at Drysdale Field. Bit of help from the wind that's blowing in hard from right field.
Yeah, different wind conditions. That might have been out for homer number 89 on the season for Columbus State.
That will bring up Connor Curley, the junior, batting .299 on the year. 25 RBIs. He has a runner at second. Jaden Ward playing a couple steps in at third base. First pitch from Voorhees, line to throw in from, will be in time. Safe is the call. That'll be the first run of the ball game. Super close play there as there was a fantastic throw from Ashton Thomas out in left field. That will score the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, bang play at the plate. A nice throw from Thomas, a good strong throw on target. It's just a matter of Wiley beating it home.
And on the throw, Connor Curley will advance to second base. Game will now, the tie has been broken. Cougars lead 1-0. As they've strung together some hits here in the 5th inning. That will bring up the leadoff man, Isaac Boughton. Boughton grounds one over to Burke, playing short. Throw on to first will be in time. Cougars on a pair of hits score the first run of the ball game. Saints look to battle back here in the bottom of the 5th inning at Drysdale Field.
I thought so too. Although I think he beat it, but
It was a bang bang.
yeah.
Bottom of the 5th coming at you. Wellborn, Thomas, and Keith due to bat. Wellborn in his first at bat struck out. Saints looking to battle back now from a 1-0 deficit. What have you seen here thus far, Dave, from the Saints batters?
Well, they started to string things together a little bit in the 4th there. Some good at bats. Matthew Burke gets on with the hit by pitch, the single from Fiorenza, but that's all they could manage. They seem a little, I don't know, off balance. Just Dudall's done a good job of getting them to swing early in counts, and they're not seeing a lot of pitches necessarily, and just the one hit. So I mean, the results, I guess, sort of speak for themselves in terms of very little production against this Friday night starter of the Cougars.
Dudall, with his 46th pitch of the night, is behind in the count to the Saints first baseman. 3 balls and no strikes. Dudall only has walked 1 thus far as he misses, and Wellborn draws the walk to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning.
Good at bat from Wellborn. Just get on however you can. It looks like it's going to be a pitcher's duel at least, in the early going here, or through 5.5 or 4.5. You get the leadoff guy aboard like you did the last inning. Give the Saints a chance to move him up and hopefully score the tying run.
This will bring up Zach Thomas, the freshman. Shows bunt. Misses for strike 1. In his first at-bat, struck out. Saints looking to go for the small ball approach here. Imagine that Thomas will be squaring around to bunt. Bunt shown. Gets it down. A beaut of a bunt. Throw on to first will be in time. The sacrifice works to perfection. Saints now have a runner in scoring position for the senior, Tyler Keith. Keith on the year, 235, has hit 3 home runs, and thus far today reached on a walk.
Yeah, good guy to have up here in this situation, and then you get the righty-lefty matchup that you like that favors Keith.
Keith batting slightly better against left-handed pitching, 250 against lefties compared to 231 against righties. Watched first pitch strike there from Dudall. That pitch is grounded back behind the catcher for strike 2. With runners in scoring position, Keith batting .226. Has the runner at second in Luke Wellborn. 0-2 from Dudal on the way. Grounded too short. Charging throw on to first will be in time. Saints move the runner over to third, and that'll bring up Donovan Garcia.
Well, we've been waiting for Garcia to kind of break out of the season-long slump he's been in. By his standards, a slump. This would be a great time to pick up the second hit of the game for Flagler.
Garcia on the year batting .216, only 17 RBIs, looking for his 18th here as that first pitch misses in the dirt for ball one. Second pitch from Dudal, fouled down the right field line and out of play. Count will be even out, 1 ball and 1 strike. Garcia just hasn't been able to put it together like he did last year. Last year was an absolute beast in the batter's box, batting north of 300.
Yeah, and you wonder, and this probably is just speculation, but you wonder if the change of position didn't affect him somewhat. He played at short last year, played very solid defensively as a shortstop, and now having to play right field and sometimes move around the field defensively as Mason Gray's really solidified
himself. That is going to get through for a hit. Saints will tie up the ball game as Donovan Garcia comes through with the single. Bit of a 2-out rally for the Saints. Small ball working to perfection there, Dave.
Oh, beautiful. You get the leadoff guy aboard with the walk, the sacrifice bunt, beautifully executed by Zach Thomas, who's had so few at-bats, but he really looked like a veteran in that bunt situation. And then the ground out moves Wellborn over to third, and Garcia brings him home.
And now Trey Newland coming up to the plate. Garcia can move on the base paths. 5 of 7 in stolen bases, or 5 for 7 in stolen bases this year. First pitch from Dudal misses high for ball number 1.
And with Newland's speed, just gets the ball in the infield here. A ground ball, he could potentially beat it out for an infield hit.
Any sort of soft contact for him. He has game-breaking speed, him and both Mason Gray. No Gray in the lineup today for the Saints. Count will be 1 ball and 1 strike to the Saints center field. A throw on to first will get Garcia. Bang, bang play over at first, and that will do it for the 5th inning. Saints get one back. Game will be tied now 1-1.
That sucks.
Stellar Group, taking solutions further. Sunshine Realty for all your real estate needs. Taylor & Waldrop, St. Augustine lawyers backed by experience. The McLeod Firm, Florida personal injury attorneys you can depend on. Cinnamon Spelman, PA, a full-service law firm representing clients statewide. U.S. Financial, pursue what matters most to you for today, tomorrow, and generations to come.
He's retired 7 straight, right? Or no, that was coming into the 5th inning.
Yep.
And we are back now for the top of the 6th inning. Brabston, Brooks, and Minter due to bat. Brabston batting .261 on the year, the Cougars left fielder. 9 homers, 30 RBIs, slugging percentage north of 500. Jaden Ward playing way in as the Saints have that shift going on the right side of the infield.
You can tell these teams have done their homework on each other for sure. Very important series for both clubs. Columbus State trying to close out the regular season championship. Saints trying to get a hosting berth in the PBC tournament.
As that one will get down for a leadoff single. Some soft contact has been a pain for Gage Voorhees, as that'll be a leadoff single for Colby Brabston. Coming up is Robert Brooks, the best hitter on this Columbus State team. 393 on the year, 16 home runs. Guy can really hit the ball, Dave.
Oh, who can on this team? I mean, there's, what was it, 7 guys that are hitting 327 or better, I believe, among the regulars.
5 of which have 10-plus home runs. As that first pitch runs inside and misses for ball 1. Brabston, 5 of 6 on stolen base attempts. Can't really imagine him going with the defensive presence of John Fiorenza behind home plate. That pitch misses outside now. Count will be 2 balls and no strikes.
70 pitches as Fiorenza wants to chat about this with Voorhees.
As they take time here, let's thank a few of our corporate sponsors. Applebee's, free queso and chips the same night after a Saints victory. Academy Bus, we know the way. The Bailey Group, no matter where you want to go, we'll help you get there. And Ameris Bank, saving for the expected and unexpected. Fiorenza's been fantastic all year, hasn't he?
He has. He handles the staff so well. And even when he was dealing with the injury last year and he wasn't really hitting because of it, they still love the way he handles the staff, the way he plays defense behind the plate. He's got the gun for the arm.
It's just he allows this Saints pitching staff to really have ease of mind on the mound, as that throw from Voorhees is not in time to grab Brabston leading off at first. That'll be 2 balls and no strikes to the Cougars catcher. Pitch is popped up in foul territory down the right field line and out of play. Came off of the netting there and back into play. Count will be 2 balls and 1 strike now to Brooks. Brooks has started every single game this year, either at behind the plate or at the designated hitter spot. It's rare to see from a catcher. He's doing essentially the same thing that John Fiorenza is doing. Even Fiorenza has gotten a couple of games off. As that one is grounded to Thomas. Steps on the bag, throw on to first will not be in time, but a heads-up play there from the freshman Zach Thomas, playing right up the middle. Shift work to perfection there, Dave.
Yeah, hit right to him, and then Thomas has to beat Brabston to the bag and almost was able to throw out Brooks at first and complete the double play. But I'm impressed with what we've seen from the freshman Thomas, the way he laid down the bunt, and now a solid defensive effort there.
That brings up Steven Minter, the junior designated hitter, batting 379 on the year. He lines one down. It's going to get past a diving Jaden Ward. Brooks holds up at second base. Took a very ambitious turn, but will remain at second base. So that's 2 singles for the Cougars. It'll be David Meadows up to bat now for Columbus State. Senior's batting .331 on the year.
Yeah, 0 for 2 today, ground out, fly out. But this is a dangerous time in the game. 2 runners on with 1 out here in the 6th inning, as Voorhees has thrown 73 pitches and just starting to see the beginnings of some stirring in the Flagler bullpen.
First pitch from Voorhees misses inside. You'd love to see a double play here, wouldn't you, Dave?
It's the perfect time if you're the Saints.
Voorhees has done a good job of keeping these power hitters at bay for the most part. No extra base hits thus far. Hopefully I didn't give Gage the kiss of death there, as the count now be 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, hitters count to the very dangerous Meadows.
Meadows with 18 stolen bags on the year. Third place in the PBC as he lines that one into center field. Newland comes on, makes the catch. Brooks fakes the tag up, doesn't end up advancing, but draws the throw from Newland. It'll be 2 down now for Derek Wiley.
And Wiley 1 for 2, a single, and he scored the lone run for the Cougars.
Wiley coming into the game hot. Just this Wednesday, went 3 for 4 with 2 home runs. Definitely a hot bat, even though it has not shown through thus far today. Beautiful breaking ball there from Gage Voorhees for strike 1.
His stuff still looks really good here in the 6th inning. Doesn't show any signs of fatigue.
Pitch misses outside to even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's a velocity on that one, too. You don't see the fastball as often from Voorhees as a lot of other pitchers.
Pitch misses just outside, but yeah, he pitches pitches backwards. A lot of breaking stuff from Voorhees. Keeps hitters off balance. Fiorenza does a fantastic job of calling pitches for him as he backpicks to second. Throw's going to skip into center field. Brooks is going to try to advance and will, as both runners advance a bag on the missed pick there from Zach Thomas. I'm going to give the error to John Fiorenza, a rare error for the Saints catcher. Saints will intentionally walk Wiley to load up the bases. And that will bring up the first baseman, Trace Twardowski. Twardowski on the year, 242. 5 home runs, only 33 at-bats, not batting nearly as much as the other regulars for Columbus State.
That's a single and a sacrifice bunt today.
First pitch there from Voorhees, breaking ball for strike 1. Voorhees doing a real good job of getting ahead. Now pitching out of the windup as all of the bases are loaded. Payoff pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Gage Voorhees gets himself out of a jam with the bases loaded. Huge strikeout for the Saints pitcher. Game will remain tied 1-1. And we are back now for the bottom of the 6th inning. Game still tied at 1 apiece. It will be the top of the lineup up for the Saints in their 3rd at-bats of the game. Newland, Burke, and Fiorenza. Dave, the Saints would like to get something going here after a huge inning, or a huge stand from Gage Voorhees on the mound with the bases loaded.
Yeah, I love the way he competed there, getting that strikeout to end it with the bases loaded, and you can see him talking to himself, kind of recomposing himself behind the mound before registering the strikeout. I'll see if the Saints can help him out and give him a lead here.
Count will be 2 balls and no strikes to the Saints center fielder, Trey Newland. Newland 0 for 2 on the day, as the count will now be 3 balls and no strikes, as that one was high and tight. Newland batting .270 coming into the day, 1 home run, 21 RBIs, as that pitch drops in for a strike.
Yeah, Newland was at the plate when Garcia was picked off to end the inning back in the 5th.
Count will now be full as Newland fouls that one back. Saints are going a lot deeper in these counts now, Dave.
That's a great point. Yeah, 3-2 count here for Newland. They're seeing more pitches. They're making Dudal work.
So that one is chopped into right field for a single. Saints get another leadoff runner. And
that's huge with it being Trey Newland in particular. That single can quickly turn into a double if he's able to steal the base here. And you got Matthew Burke batting.
And even if Newland isn't going to take off, which I imagine in this situation, there's a good chance he will, he's going to put some pressure on the starting pitcher for Columbus State, Devin Dudal.
He's certainly a distraction over there, absolutely. I imagine we'll see several throws over.
Matthew Burke lays one down to Dudal, the pitcher. Throw on to first, gets by the first baseman, as now Newland is going to be held up at third.
Ooh.
That sacrifice bunt turns into a double for Matthew Burke, as now runners will be on second and third for the heart of the Saints lineup with no outs. Costly mistake there, Dave.
It could be. I mean, it's still a 1-1 game, but nobody out with runners at second and third. And I thought they might send Newland there. Dave Barnett, of course, knows what he's doing, 35 years of head coaching experience as we have a meeting at the mound. But I don't think Dave had a good view of both the runner and where the ball was down the right field line. And if he was able to see both at the same time, he might have been a little more aggressive and sent Newland on the play. It's just the location of that ball may have prevented the Saints from scoring the go-ahead run there.
We'll see here. You have no outs in the inning. You have the heart of your lineup coming up. It's kind of a 50-50 play right there if you're going to send him or not. Let's see if it works out here. You have John Fiorenza. Fiorenza reached on a single back in the previous inning. Would like to have another one here.
So the first baseman, Twardowski, in on the grass.
As Fiorenza gets on one. That one is high, deep in the gap. He's going to be caught. Newland on his way home will score. Burke also moves up as John Fiorenza gets a loud flyout to break the tie and knock in Trey Newland. Now you have Jaden Ward up with one down. Runner at third.
Great piece of hitting by John Fiorenza, the senior here on senior weekend. It's senior night before the game. He was honored along with 3 of his classmates and just did what he needed to do, get the ball up in the air. That could have
I thought that was out off the
hit.
bat. I thought that was out of the ballpark on the bat. You have that very strong wind coming in from center field. Probably held that one up. Infield's going to be in as a beautiful diving play. Throw on home will not get Matthew Burke. Bang, bang play. Can't imagine that Columbus State's going to be quite happy with that. Well, that was a fantastic play from the first baseman, Trace Twardowski, to make the diving play. Throw on home.
The ball was through for a hit, and he dives, he knocks it down, throws home, and it was a bang-bang play. It was a great slide by Burke to just get his hand in and around the tag, and not much protest from the Columbus State side.
That was a fantastic slide from Matthew Burke. Ward reaches on the bunt, and that brings up Ashton Thomas. Saints lead now 3-1. As small ball has worked out very well this inning.
It has. I mean, it all started with getting the leadoff guy aboard in Newland, and then the bunt and the errant throw on Matthew Burke. Sac fly by Fiorenza, and the RBI from Jaden Ward makes it a 3-1 game.
Count will be 1 ball and 1 strike now to the Saints left fielder Ashton Thomas. That pitch drops in for a strike to push the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thomas batting .313 coming into the day, is 0 for 2, has grounded out a pair of times. Count will be even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes as that pitch misses high. Good to see the Saints get out and get a lead. That's what we were talking about earlier in the inning. Gage Voorhees comes up big in the prior half of it work for him, and now the Saints go out and get him a lead as that one's hit hard and through for a single. Runners will move up as now Saints have 2 on, and we're going to get a call to the bullpen, and we will take a break here as the Cougars make a pitching change. Their assistant coach looks pretty young. I thought he was a player at first. Yeah, that's what I thought. It will be Austin Elliott on the mound now for the Cougars. That will close the door on Devin Dudal's day. Dudal goes 5 1/3 innings of work, allowing 1 earned run, two of the other runs that he allowed were unearned. He will be responsible for both runners on. Elliott on the year with a .284 earned run average, 31 strikeouts, and a whip of .163. It'll be Jaden Ward at second, Ashton Thomas at first, and Luke Wellborn at the plate for the Saints. Elliott, through 25 innings of work, has allowed 8 earned runs, has walked 13, has 31 strikeouts. batters are batting .264 against him as he misses with the first two pitches of the at-bat outside to Wellborn.
Wellborn with good plate discipline. Of course, he walked back in the fifth inning and came around to score the first run of the game, tying the game at 1, and now a 2-0 count to him here.
First one I get because he reached on an error.
We've seen quite a few pitches outside, really trying to stay away from the pull side of Luke Wellborn, as now the count will be 2 balls and a strike to the Saints first baseman.
Burke is out for a fly to center field and the ground into first base. Choice.
Another pitch misses outside. Count will be 3 balls and a strike now. As you were saying, Wellborn, great plate discipline, hasn't really gotten anything good to hit and hasn't really been swinging the bat because of it.
Yep. Good eye up there, at least this evening, with the walk and now a 3-1 count.
That pitch just barely gets the outside edge of the plate to load up the count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's an earned run for that. Yeah. Which is, I never heard of that until
Payoff pitch on the way from Elliott. Actually, a back pick trying to get Ward at second. He gets back in time.
The Saints don't want to get anyone picked off here, like back in the fifth when Donovan Garcia, after delivering the RBI single, is picked off to end the inning. Got to be careful on the base paths.
That pitch will miss outside to load up the bases as Wellborn draws his second walk of the game. It'll be the freshman in a huge spot now with the bases loaded and 1 out. Zach Thomas came into today batting .500. Struck out and then laid down a great sacrifice bunt, which led to runs for the Saints. But we've seen a lot of good from him.
Yeah, he's been very solid today. And filling in at second base as Burke slides over to take the place of Mason Gray at shortstop. Big opportunity here for the freshman.
Thomas lines one into center field. That will get down for a hit. And score Jaden Ward from third. The freshman comes up huge with a 1-out single with the bases loaded. Only scores 1. That ball was hit extremely hard. The runner from third was held up for a second. Didn't know if Connor Curley was going to make a play on that one, but that moves the lineup along now for Tyler Keith.
Yeah, Thomas had to wait to see if that ball was going to be caught. Otherwise, he probably would have scored on that. But Thomas delivers in his big moment.
First pitch misses, and that will draw a conversation on the mound between Elliott and Brooks. While they talk it over, we'll thank a few more of our corporate sponsors. Atlantic Dodge, proud supporter of Flagler Athletics. Birchall & Company, find you home today. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings, Beer, Sports. Carmelo's, delivering old world quality. And Carrabba's, so close you can taste it. After that brief chat, Keith will step back into the box here in a huge spot with 1 out and the bases loaded. Saints up 4-1. As he grounds over to the first baseman. Throw home will be in time, but that will not be a double play, as that wasn't hit that hard, Dave. But you had to imagine that if he wanted to, could have turned that into a double play.
I'm surprised that Brooks didn't throw down to first. I'm not sure if the second baseman, McDade, wasn't covering. But, yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. They just settled for 1 there without even a relay throw.
And Donovan Garcia coming up to the plate. He has an RBI, actually tied up the game back in the bottom of the 5th inning. He swings at the first pitch and misses. Count will be no balls and 1 strike now to the Saints right fielder. It was good to see him get a hit there in a huge spot for the Saints to tie it back up, Dave.
Absolutely. And they needed to kind of break through, and now I think that kind of led to what we're seeing here in the 6th inning, where the Saints are going deeper into counts. They're putting good at-bats together, stringing some hits together. And the activity we saw in the Flagler bullpen has now settled down.
And that pitch gets away from the catcher. Brooks will score a run. I thought that one may have hit Donovan Garcia. Lucky it didn't. Well, actually, either way, it's going to end up in a run for the Saints as the bases were loaded. But all the runners move up a station now. Saints lead 5-1 on what we're going to call a wild pitch for Austin Elliott. And now runners will be at second and third for Donovan Garcia. 2-1 pitch on the way from Elliott. Misses, late strike call there from home plate umpire Perry Ramacone.
Ramacone definitely has that delay in making the call.
Got twos across the board here to the Saints right fielder. Huge strikeout there for Austin Elliott. Will finish the sixth inning. Saints put up 4 runs and now lead 5-1.
I know. Just in time for the end of the season.
John, I won't be here tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm up in Jacksonville with the Sharks.
Sorry, I just got booked on soccer. I'd much rather be here. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
They got me up in Jacksonville tomorrow. I'm doing sideline reporting for the Sharks as my
really?
internship. Yeah.
What are the Sharks?
They're the arena football team.
Really?
Yeah. Nice little internship opportunity for me. It's going to eat up most of my summer, working like 25, 30 hours a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm going to be I'm doing other communications work for them too.
The second baseman.
Well, the Saints have grabbed the lead 5-1 as we head to the top of the 7th. Gage Voorhees back out on the mound. The starter for the Saints has looked good. Allowed just the 1 run on 5 hits. And this is Matthew McDade, who's 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out today for McDade.
It's a huge inning here for Voorhees, the shutdown inning they like to call it. Nothing's better as a team than when you go out, put some runs up on the board, and you have your pitcher come out and go 1, 2, 3.
Ground ball to Thomas, who is playing on the shortstop side of second base, and he makes the play.
Thomas showing off a bit of juice with the arm there. That was a great throw from pretty much the shortstop position for the first out of the inning. He's looked real good, the freshman. And
he's been solid. I mean, he came through with the great at bat with the bases loaded in the last inning, the single, driving in a run, and he's been solid defensively as well. This is Connor Curley showing bunt, and Jaden Ward is again ready for it. He's way in at third base.
This is one of the few guys that the Saints are playing pretty much straight up to in the field.
Curley has an RBI single, 1 for 2 today. Good looking pitch from Voorhees. He's ahead 0-2.
And now the Saints throwing a late shift on in the 0-2 count. Let's see, pitching coach Jeff Pelkey barking orders for his defense from the dugout.
1-2 pitch is low. 85 pitches now for Voorhees here in the 7th inning. That one's low, and the count runs full.
Voorhees can't let this batter go in the bottom half of the lineup here.
Strike 3 called on the appeal, and throwing his bat down in disgust is Curley. It's a strikeout, and there are 2 gone here in the 7th.
Voorhees done a great job this far. Just when you think he runs into a bit of trouble, back in the top of the 6th inning, has the bases loaded, gets out of it, and he's just kept it rolling here with the first 2 retired that he's faced in the 7th.
This is Isaac Boughton, 0 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts. Fly ball to right. Garcia just takes a couple of steps to his left, and the Cougars are gone in order. There's the shutdown inning Jordan was talking about. 5-1 as we head to the 8th. And welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning. I was a little ahead of myself when we said we were going to the 8th. Third pitcher of the game is number 32, Chandler Ring, a 6-foot junior transfer right-hander, making his 15th appearance. Ring is 4-0 with a 3.68 ERA. He's made a couple of starts as well. Starting off with Trey Newland.
Has a whip sub 1.5. Whip, for those not in the know, is walks, hits divided by innings pitched. Similar to ERA, it's basically, to dumb it down, is just how much traffic you see on the base paths per inning. And anything really below 1.5 is good.
1-1 the count to Newland. Newland 1 for 3. He singled and scored a run last inning when the Saints erupted for 4 to turn this into a 5-1 game. And now 2 balls and a strike. Newland actually led off the 6th inning, and here he is leading off the 7th. Three and 1 the count. You'd love to see Newland get on board here and potentially wreak havoc, or at least distract the pitcher, if not steal a base. Ground ball to short for Boughton, and the throw is in time.
Hit that one hard, just hit it straight into the ground there. I almost wish he hit it a bit softer, allowing his speed to come into a play, but that was hit just too hard for him to beat that one out.
That brings up Matthew Burke. Burke reached on a bunt when the throw was off target in the 6th. Came around to score. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th, grounded out in the 1st. Playing shortstop today. Sharply hit, but fouled on the 3rd base line. Ring is a transfer from Lee University. Product of Warner Robins, Georgia. Ground ball to third for Meadows. And there are 2 outs. That brings up John Fiorenza. Fiorenza with the sac fly RBI back in the 6th. He also has a single to his credit. And home plate umpire Perry Ramacone talking to the Saints dugout.
Saints dugout has been lively. Can't really imagine what they're being warned about.
Tries to check his swing, but Ramacone said he did offer at it. 0-1. And another defensive swing by Fiorenza has him in the hole. 0-2.
It's rare to see John with 2, not really committing to either swing there. It's rare to see as a hitter. He's been so good this year.
And he strikes out on 3 pitches. The Saints go in order, but they lead at 5-1 as we now head to the 8th. Yeah. Is my water over there, Jordan?
Yes, it is.
Thanks.
How do you get it like that?
I don't know. That's how it always pops up for me. Might be a look. It's the media view. It's not the other view.
Oh, there's a media view?
Mm-hmm. Gage 4, he's out for his 8th inning of work. He's thrown 89 pitches through 7 innings, given up 5 hits, just the 1 run. He's walked 1 and struck out 8, and he'll deal with 2, 3, and 4. Brabston, Brooks, and Minter. First up, Colby Brabston, who's 1 for 3.
Something Gage always will give you his innings, and through 89 pitches.
First pitch swinging, fly ball, easy for Newland.
90 pitches, and he's gotten through 7 1/3 innings of work thus far. So he's just so consistent out on the mound. It's really a blessing for the Saints pitching staff to have.
Really efficient. And you love seeing that 1 pitch, 1 out situation here deep in the game in the 8th inning. That brings up Robert Brooks. Voorhees, they would love if Voorhees could go the distance in this one and save their bullpen arms for the rest of the weekend. Brooks 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. As we discussed at the top of the game, Saints likely need to take 2 of 3 to secure a hosting bid in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. The top 4 teams will host a best-of-3 series. And then the winners of those series will congregate at the highest remaining seed for a double elimination tournament. This one fouled out of play. Saints right now sitting in 3rd, but they're in a tie for 3rd place with Georgia College and Georgia Southwestern at 15-9, 1 game back of Young Harris in 2nd. And Flagler would lose the tiebreak to both Georgia College and Georgia Southwestern. So they want to have a better result than at least one, if not both of those clubs. Young Harris, the second place team, is playing Georgia Southwestern this weekend in the final regular season series. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brooks.
It wouldn't be as colorful as
Here's the 2-2. Fouled off. Saints are 23-24 overall, 15-9 in the PBC. Here's the 2-2. That one stays high. The count goes full.
Georgia College, just look around the Peach Belt Conference. Georgia College won today against Augusta 14-5. So as it stands right now, they have a half-game lead over the Saints.
And it's a walk to Brooks, so 1 on and 1 out now, and the batter is Steven Minter, who's 1 for 3.
And Georgia Southwestern also in that tie with the Saints. They're up 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning against Young Harris. So Saints need to win just to keep pace with the other 2 teams that they are tied with.
But then Young Harris would drop back into a tie as well. So if the Saints are able to hold this lead, they'll be at 16-9. And if Young Harris were to lose, as they are losing right now, it'd be 16-9. So we'd have, I think, 4 teams at 16-9.
Four-way tie in second place for second
Four-way
place.
second place tie. And again, only the top 4 will host.
Century note.
So 100th pitch for Voorhees, now 101.
Got some action in the Saints bullpen. Looks like we have a right-hander warming up.
Well, Voorhees has been tremendous. He was in a pitching duel with Dudal until Dudal kind of blew up in that 6th inning where the Saints plated 4. This one outside, ball 1, trying to get him to chase.
Really can't even fault Dudal all that much for that. Those 4 runs. It was just costly mistakes. One of those errors he did make himself, so can't put it all on the defense when you're part of it. But costly defensive.
Line drive to left. Ashton Thomas will watch it fall in front for a base hit. And now there are 2 on with 1 out here in the 8th. And the batter will be David Meadows.
Now batting third baseman number 7, David Meadows.
Meadows is 0 for 3. Ground out and a couple of flyouts to center. First pitch swinging, fouled out of play. Now 1, poured in for a strike.
Had a bad flash back yesterday because they're showing it's like a live remote from Jacksonville. The NFL draft, and they had the Jacksonville draft line. I'm like, oh no.
There's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to Ward at third. He'll throw to first in time. And Meadows can't believe it. The first base coach also voiced his displeasure with the call. But it'll go down as the second out of the inning on a strong throw from Ward.
We have a bit of a split crowd here at Drysdale Field. About 50-50 either way. Columbus fans traveling well as they also voiced their displeasure with the call at first by Benson.
Yeah, the number 6 team in the nation, and you'd figure they'd have a good following here, trying to clinch the PBC regular season championship.
Wiley up to bat now, his 7th place in Peach Belt Conference in OPS with it just shy of 1,000.
Has a single, a run scored, also was intentionally walked back in the 6th inning, and a strikeout looking, and he's behind here 0-2. See if Voorhees can get out of this jam. Leaves that one high, ball 1.
Some velocity on that one for Voorhees. Imagine he's also thinking this is probably the last batter of the game for him if he can get out of the inning.
Ground ball to shortstop. Burke with a long throw. It is not in time, and a run comes in to score. So that makes it 5-2 and keeps the inning going with runners at the corners. The batter is Twardowski. Twardowski 1 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. And now a pinch hitter will be number 22, Will Wilbanks. There's a junior from Noonan, Georgia. Wilbanks hitting .319, although in limited at-bats, just 47 at-bats. And now Jeff Palkey will pop out to, I imagine, provide a scouting report or just a strategy session on how they want to deal with Wilbanks.
Wilbanks in his career batting .222.
Gives us a chance to thank some of the sponsors of Flagler Athletics. Vested Metals. We're a customer-centric and solution-based metal supplier. UBS Financial. Pursue what matters most to you for today, tomorrow, and generations to come. Sniffen and Spellman, PA, a full-service law firm representing clients statewide. The McLeod Firm, personal injury attorneys you can depend on. And Sunshine Realty for all your real estate needs. Well, got the whole infield on the mound discussing this very important batter. It's a 5-2 Saints lead. Runners at first and third with 2 outs here in the 8th. Voorhees has thrown 110 pitches, and he'll deal with the pinch hitter, Will Wilbanks.
Wilbanks, one of the rare guys who spent his entire career thus far with Columbus State.
First pitch is in there for a strike. Well, Voorhees has worked ahead of the batters for the most part, and it's served him well. Trying to get out of here and preserve the 3-run lead. Strike 2. 2 good-looking pitches from Voorhees after the mound visit from Jeff Pelkey.
He has him in the palm of his hand right now, Dave. He can do pretty much whatever he wants. I'm thinking he's going to go with a backdoor slider.
Fouled off. Shifting again for Wilbanks. 3 fielders on the right side, with just Jaden Ward on the left. Huge lead at third base for Minter. I mean, he is halfway down the line when the pitch is delivered, but with no one to hold him close, why not?
On top of that, also, have to imagine that's Wilbanks could easily lay down a bunt if he can get one down the third baseline. There's no one even close to it.
Fouled out of play. Count remains 0-2. Yeah, I'm not sure why more guys don't do that to beat the shift.
Especially a shift this drastic. It's a lost art in the game of baseball now. We see a lot of it just because of how the Saints play, but guys don't bunt as much anymore.
The 0-2. Upstairs, ball 1. Voorhees trying to get Wilbanks to chase. That's a balk. And the runner threw Voorhees off of his game, Sean Minter. And Voorhees is arguing that he stepped off, I think. He
did step off. I'm confused about the balk call here. He stepped off with his back foot pretty obviously. Now we got the brain trust of Ramacone, Benson, and Puma discussing this. Voorhees a seasoned pitcher here for the Saints. It'd be a costly balk, but I don't think that they made the right call there, even though we always like to appreciate umpires down here. Sometimes they make mistakes. They're human too.
Interesting that, well, Dave Barnett, I think, is ready to pounce here, depending on what the final decision is. He's standing outside the Saints dugout, and it's a long discussion between Ramacone, Benson, and Puma. And they are going to award the run to the Cougars, and that makes it 5-3. Voorhees is not happy. He scuffs at the dirt on the mound.
I'm afraid to say it, that was the wrong call. But the call was made nonetheless. Voorhees just has to wipe it off here and hopefully use a bit of that anger to strike out the batter here.
Wiley moves up into scoring position on the balk as well. And that is a check swing. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can hear very animated Saints faithful here, not liking the last few calls here from this umpiring crew.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Lined right at Burke, who makes a great diving catch to end the inning. 5-3. A couple of runs come across for the Cougars, but the Saints still have the lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
That'd be a good one to replay. Yeah. If you haven't already. Maybe at the top of the next inning. Okay. Yeah, when I start talking, you can just, that's great. Right. That was perfect. That was awesome. Same picture? Looks like it.
Well, Jordan, the 8th inning ends with a great defensive play by Matthew Burke. Usually a second baseman getting the rare start at shortstop, but because of the shift, he's playing on the right side of the base. He makes the great diving catch.
Actually, I believe that was the freshman Zach Thomas.
Was it?
Yeah, Burke was actually playing in his
short
normal
right field?
second. Yeah, his normal second base spot, except step back into right field. That was the freshman Zach Thomas, who's had himself a pretty solid day today, all things considered. Made a couple great defensive plays and has knocked in some runs. Just all around a solid day for the freshman.
Leading things off for the Saints here in the 8th is Jaden Ward. It'll be Ward, Thomas, and Wellborn to face Chandler Ring. 1 is outside. Ward has reached twice on fielder's choices. He's driven in a run, scored a run. 1-1 is fouled out of play.
Saints would love to get some insurance runs here. that lead dwindles now down to only 2. And you'd love to just give a bit more cushion to the back end of the Saints bullpen.
Fouled out of play. Saints got 1 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th. And for Columbus, they had 1 in the 5th, 2 there in the 8th inning. One-two pitch. Ward lays off. And that evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's in high school that came out.
Long look in from Ring. That's outside, and the count goes full. Seems like the Saints batters have been going deeper into counts as the game has worn on. Ring is the 3rd pitcher for the Cougars. Dudal started it off. Went 5 1/3, gave up 5 runs, just 2 of them earned. A looper into right field, and it's a foul ball. Austin Elliott came in, went 2/3 of an inning, and now Ring trying to keep it close. Here's the payoff. Strike 3 called. Ward can't believe it. And there's 1 out here in the Flagler 8th. That brings up Ashton Thomas. Go ahead.
It's been a tough couple of innings here for umpire and crew here. That was a debatable call. Looked like it was just a bit inside, but he has been, Ramacone has been pretty consistent with his zone.
This is Thomas. First pitch ball. Thomas has a single. Today's 1 for 3. Lights are on here at Drysdale Field as the sun has gone down and headed toward dusk. One pitch, foul back into the screen.
Thomas took quite the hack at that one. We always say he's a free swinging guy, but he was going for the moon with that swing.
The 1-2. Outside, ball 2, good eye. Grounded foul. Good at bat from Thomas. Making Ring work a bit here with 1 out in the 8th.
Yeah, he's just fighting and fighting and fighting. That's what you want to see out of these Saints hitters here. The more pitches you can see, the better the chances that you're going to get a hanging breaking ball or just something out over the heart of the plate that you can do damage with.
That one stays up, Sayers. And the count is full to Ashton Thomas. Thomas steps out as Ring steps off. That is strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. The strike to Ward was on the other part of the plate.
I'm going to hold my tongue about that one. That'll bring up Luke Wellborn.
So 2 outs. And the real interesting story is Gage Voorhees going to come out for the 9th. I doubt it. It looks like there's a pitcher ready to go in the Saints bullpen. Voorhees has thrown 118 pitches.
Especially with all the injuries that we've seen this year from the Saints pitching staff, you really don't want to test your number one guy.
1-0 in there for strike one. Inside out swing, foul ball. And this is the first of a 3-game series. They'll play again tomorrow at 2 and then wrap it up on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Wellborn just spoils that pitch. Wellborn has walked twice, scored a couple of runs.
He's had fantastic at-bats all day as well. Just seeing a lot of pitches, fighting off the bad ones, letting balls go outside, and really just looking for his pitch to hit.
Spoils another one. Two balls and 2 strikes.
They are just staying away from Luke Wellborn. If he gets a pitch on the inside part of the plate, he is going to attack it. But it's been a good job from this Cougars pitching staff to really just keep it out of his swing path.
Grounded back to Ring. Toss underhanded for out number 3. We head to the 9th, 5-3 Saints. Top of the ninth inning, and in to try to save it for the Saints is number 32, Davian Garcia, making his ninth appearance. He's 0-1 on the season, a 4.11 ERA. He's worked 15 in the third innings, given up 12 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 15. He does not have a save on the season.
I love what Garcia does on the mound. He has a bit of a herky-jerky windup. He has great velocity, a solid curveball, and a very nice changeup to boot. 3 pitches, he can control them well, and this is a big test here against the best hitting team in the Peach Belt Conference.
The batter is Matthew McDade, who's 0 for 3 today. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 against Garcia. First pitch is low, ball 1. A couple of defensive changes. Coy Phillips is in at first base, taking over for Luke Wellborn, and Bryce Fitzgerald will play left field in place of Ashton Thomas. Popped up. First chance for Phillips just into the game, and this one's going to drift foul. Garcia's a freshman out of Tampa. 6 feet, 175. And what a performance by Gage Voorhees. 8 innings, 118 pitches, 7 hits, 3 runs allowed, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And it's a live drive single to lead off the ninth for McDade. I'd imagine Garcia would be on a very short leash here as Connor Curley comes to the plate.
Yeah, the Saints are going to get a left-hander going in the bullpen, just in case this goes sideways here for Garcia. Would have loved to see his changeup here, outer half of the plate, just to try and roll up a double play. Can't really allow the bottom half of the lineup to hurt you, especially when you have those big guys up at the top.
Curley's 1 for 3 today with an RBI. Looks at a first pitch ball. There's a strike. 1-1 is the count. Jaden Ward playing right on the cut of the grass. And now takes a step or two even closer. Foul ball, strike 2. One-two pitch, fouled back.
Garcia doing exactly what you need to do with the runner on, holding the ball, switching up his cadence pitching, and not allowing McDade at first to really get a read on him.
That one is low, presumably. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia really wanted it.
Gotta have that one. You gotta have that one.
This one lifted into left. Chance for Fitzgerald. Makes the catch. And there's 1 out. Back to the top of the order, and Isaac Boughton. Boughton is 0 for 4.
Saints getting some encouragement from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, starting to hear the crowd come to life here.
Boughton batting .290 against right-handers, so a bit better than a good matchup here for Garcia. Bats .420 against lefties.
McDade not much of a threat to steal, and you likely wouldn't steal in a situation like this. Down 2 runs in the 9th inning. Caught stealing. Erased from the base pass, and it's out number 2. They'll hold him anyway. That one is out of the strike zone for ball one. That one is low. Ball bounces away from Garcia. Saints in a shift on the left side.
We had enough fielders over there to corral that that stray throwback from Fiorenza.
Yeah, good thing it didn't bounce the other way. Three and one. Garcia almost looks like he's kind of yanking the pitch a little bit, like he's holding on too long or something. You're a pitcher.
Yeah, it can be, especially he's a true freshman. This is a huge spot for him. Sometimes you just grip on that ball a bit too tight and you start missing low and missing outside for a guy that's righty like him, and he does it again there.
So now the tying run is aboard, and the batter will be Colby Brabston.
And we're going to get a pitching change here.
We'll step aside and tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. And welcome back. The new pitcher is number 30, Dylan Faulkner, a freshman from Jacksonville, 6'3", 205 lefty, transfer from Tallahassee Community College. Faulkner making his 13th appearance. He started 3 games as well. He's 3-4 on the year, 6.09 ERA. He has a couple of saves. He's worked 34 innings, given up 39 hits. Walked 15 and struck out 45. So big-time strikeout numbers for Faulkner, and that's exactly what the Saints could use right now.
Brabston up to bat here for the Cougars, batting .229 against lefties. Either a strikeout or if you could roll up a ground ball here and end it, that would be the ideal outcome here for the Saints.
First pitch is high. Starting to hear some vocalization from the Columbus State dugout. Lefty on lefty matchup. Faulkner and Brabston. 1-0 is catches the outer part of the plate for a strike. Lots of amateur umpires voicing their opinion.
See, the thing is, if you're going to call the strike so late, you're giving everyone out, like, he's throwing everyone off. Just as the cadence of his strike call being that late, it throws everyone off. But it's nice to see that he's calling them both ways. May not be his best appearance behind the plate, but he's been fair to both sides, and that's all you can wish for.
Consistency, yep. So the count's 1-1. Checks his swing. 2 balls and a strike. Faulkner trying to get Brabston to chase low. Fouled into the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long wait for this 2-2 pitch. Oh, and that stays up for ball 3.
This umpire's not making fans on either side here. That is, you gotta have that one. Gotta have that one if you're Faulkner on the mound.
Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled off. Good at bat from Brabston. Making Faulkner work for it for sure.
Doing a great job of building suspense here in the top of the 9th inning. Nothing builds. Baseball does the best out of all the major sports, just building suspense in between.
Again, the 3-2. Strike 3 called. And Brabston doesn't like it.
And I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. He has had a zone that has expanded a little outside. He's definitely getting some words here from the dugout.
I'm surprised Brabston stayed in the game. He dropped his bat in disgust and then ripped off his shin guard as well and had something to say to Ramacombe. So the Saints will have a meeting here to discuss how to deal with the very dangerous Robert Brooks. 2 on, 2 outs, and a 2-run lead for the Saints. And Brooks leading the club with a .393 average coming in.
Batting .600 with runners on base. Or batting, .402 with runners on base.
So for 3 with a walk and a run scored today, but very dangerous guy. And of course, 16 home runs to lead the club. 65 RBIs, also a team best.
An OPS north of 1250. Guy can hit the baseball.
Well, you got to earn it, I guess. You got to deal with the biggest challenge in the lineup here to get the win for the Saints on this opener of the 3-game set.
Our left field is on the warning track.
First pitch to Faulkner is a ball. Bryce Fitzgerald is playing very deep in left, almost on the warning track. No doubles type of defense for the Saints. Donovan Garcia is also very deep in right. There's a strike. Trey Newland is playing what Trey Newland wants to play.
With the speed that he has, he can play just about anywhere he wants. You said it perfectly there, Dave. That was a beautiful breaking ball there from Faulkner as well to drop in for the first strike at the at-bat.
Big swing and a miss.
That's some high cheese there from Faulkner. He's feeling himself. Sometimes when you just drop, there's nothing better than just dropping in a breaking ball when you're behind in the count. Really a bold move to try and locate that pitch, and then he comes right back and tunnels it perfectly with a high fastball. Some great pitching from Faulkner.
A 1-2 pitch, and it's a base hit. They're going to send McDade, and they'll hold up the runner at third, Boughton, and it's a one-run game, 5-4 now on the RBI single by Robert Brooks.
That's a real good piece of hitting by Brooks to go opposite field there. That's what you need out of your big guys in the order. And the Saints playing everyone to a pull so far, and really that would have been a single regardless of where the Saints were playing. Just great piece of hitting, keeping the hands.
Steven Minter is the batter, and the Saints will shift on him with the tying run standing at third base. First pitch swinging, and a good-looking fastball from Faulkner as he blew that one past Steven Minter. That's the old Linda Ronstadt, the Blue Bayou.
It's a great joke there, Dave.
0-1, and did that? No, it didn't hit him. It's a foul ball.
Off the Great Wall of Fiorenza behind the plate. Nothing gets by him, it seems like. Knock on wood there. Don't want to jinx him here, but he just seems to be a wall back there, blocking everything.
So again, down to their last strike are the Cougars. Swing and a miss, and Faulkner saves it for Voorhees. The Saints win it 5-4. 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Saints, 4 runs on 9 hits, and an error for Columbus State. Voorhees is the winner. He improves to 8-1. Dudall, the loser, he drops to 8-4. Faulkner picks up his third save, and he does it in heart-wrenching fashion. Your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this was just a great game. A great game. It gives you everything you want out of a baseball game. You get a little bit of everything. You get the pitching duel to start off, then you get some runs in the middle, and you get just some late-game heroics from Dylan Faulkner there. The Saints were bending, but they didn't break, and that's what you need out of your bullpen. As long as you keep those saves coming, keep those W's rolling, you will be a successful ball club. And they get the first in the series.
That's exactly what they need. They improve to now 16-9 in the PBC, which could be as good as a tie for second place. It's at least a tie for third place. Again, trying to play for a home field advantage, a hosting opportunity in the PBC tournament. Flagler overall now 24-24. Columbus State drops to 36-9 and 19-6 in the league. Well, for all the people who brought this to us, our producer Juliana Maynard, our sports information director John Jordan, and our analyst Jordan Fauci, I'm Dave Wenda saying thanks for watching here on the PBC Network. The final, Saints win it 5-4. Good night, everyone.